Can't take you all nowhere.
Well, I would think so. You're talking about right here?
Yeah.
Falling, 10 times over.
I mean, I guess it would be,
Just catch.
well, I mean, it's
If
not,
it's all,
it's not really my salary. It's definitely not a commission. Dividend retirement, but it is rental property. Oh, I think it asks me about that somewhere, doesn't it?
yeah, it's gonna ask that. Well, it's not that one.
Just as businesses located outside of the Commonwealth. Any businesses outside of here. Oh, have rental property outside of here.
I didn't talk to you today.
Property.
That's
located
good,
in
right?
Marsh County, that's it.
So that's the, I guess it's put on the other side of the. $5,000, you think it's supposed to list it.
No. Sorry, I heard on you.
He just needed it.
I think it's right here.
Second page.
Because it didn't have the picture, so.
Oh, yeah. There, that's- yeah,
It's
I'm
confusing.
renting at the cheaper price. We're a Ukrainian family.
Oh, you are the one there. Oh, really?
Yeah, so it will reach that.
Okay. Wouldn't know that.
Eventually it will, but right now.
Thanks, Blair. Did you need to talk to him?
He has a job where he actually trains them.
But we needed to talk.
So he's
Probably.
It's that mother-son chat.
he's safe because he can easily.
Mother, son, you better watch out. Same thing. You're a dead man.
Some of this, I don't know.
It's up to you. It's there for them, so they know what's going on.
Where they were singing.
So,
And they,
but we do
I guess.
just a little
bit during
outside.
project.
And it seemed like it was cold.
That's all right.
They went outside, sat on the bench. Missing.
It's just
right
in your
away.
notes. All over the place.
Yeah.
So they bombed about 10 miles. So she was all for it.
Does he still live there?
It's hard to.
I drove out here the other day.
Well, I mean, I think he still lives there. He's all over the place. He's only there.
5:31.
So it may be rough by the time you get back.
We've been alive.
But I hadn't said anything. Okay, Miss Linda, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you so much. Okay. Welcome to the January 8th, first one of 2024. It was a busy holiday season, a lot of stuff going around town. A lot of positive comments made, at least I've heard many of them. So a thank you to everybody involved with Kata and volunteers and Blair's posse. And then you got to have a general to run the thing too. So it's good showing for Calvert City over the holidays. I really appreciate it. And I think it was excellent. Excellent. So with that, how about an approval for the December the 11th meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you. I don't see any visitors or petitioners. Is there anybody who's normally the home crowd want to be a visitor or petitioner? Okay. Old business. We don't have any specific old business listed unless someone wants to bring up a particular question over the prior.
How about the generator grant?
I have not had a meeting on that with my team. And the reason we haven't, my fault. Okay. All right. New business. You've got something new in your packet of information that you don't normally have. It is a listing of active nuisance issues and some write-up there. I think we've had quite a bit of positive activity in that this year, and we've had concerned citizens come to the council, both for and against the level of activity that we've been putting on that. So that is just to keep everyone informed of where we're at. I would, actually prefer not to go over that in particularly open, just because of each individual case of nuisances, vehicles, derelict properties and stuff like that. So it's just information that the council has. And if anybody wants it, they can of course get it. And it's just ongoing number of situations of people who don't have a zoning compliance certificate or nuisance violations and things of that sort. So how many are there? Let's see, we do have some totals here, 6, 5, 11, 17.
23.
It'd be about between 35 and 40 on this list. So some of them are quite old. I don't know what the oldest one on this list is. There's some for 21 on here. And some of them have been resolved. So that's like the full thing, I think, all categories.
So this goes back since you started, I think, doesn't it? This is not just this year. This list goes back to when Bruce first started. So that's what you're seeing is a list of his activity over the years up to this point, just so you'll know what's going on and how we're moving ahead and that kind of thing.
It looks like it's from 2021.
Mhm.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay.
2021, and a large number of these are kind of things like removed by owner, discontinued, home for sale, resolved. Those are the kinds of comments. So this is the whole list. So there's pretty good tally there of what code enforcement's been into. Just kind of an update.
Appreciate it.
Some that have been.
Yes, most of them, the bulk majority of them have been resolved one way or another.
Thank y'all. I appreciate this.
And that it's a everyday thing, and it's about being consistent and being fair with our residents. And you have to strike that fine balance. And I think Bruce is a fine personality for getting that done around here. I really appreciate his experience and maturity to bringing this thing into some orderly fashion. And so that's a report out and in a format that the council hasn't seen before, I don't think. Okay.
What is Bruce's time?
He's a nuisance compliance officer. We don't actually have quote unquote code enforcement. We go with nuisance enforcement because he's dealing with not only, nuisances like weeds and junk vehicles, but he's also dealing with zoning compliance and other things of that nature. So he deals with a little bit of everything on that range. So amongst other things, he's been out there when he had slack time and putting rails back up in the fence out there on 62. I've been waiting. I kept waiting to see if the state would do that, but no. That's our baby, isn't it? And just so we put them up some counts.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. No other new business on the table for tonight. Let's go ahead and proceed with some project reports.
Project first, you want working director.
We'll go with Blair if Blair's ready. Blair, are you ready?
Where were you turning? Yes.
Have mine.
Or mine.
You can have mine. I don't need it.
There we go. I don't have much to talk about. So first, if you have not picked up a calendar, you have probably heard that there are lots of errors in it. And when I mess up really big. So January has several dates that are not in there. I decided to move Martin Luther King Day a week after. And then to top it off, I moved Christmas to the 26th. So Jesus' birthday is different in 2024.
It was gonna be late this year.
So you can pick up a calendar and look at the pretty pictures, but just don't look at January.
This makes me love you so much.
I haven't got that far, so I haven't.
I think you just need to market that as you were trying to see if people really read the calendar.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So,
like it.
oh, they do, because there's been lots of calls about it. So
I just looked at the pictures.
please, media, you can send my
Don't worry, we
apologies.
deal with this all.
You can send my apologies because I totally messed up. Exciting news. We have a new yoga instructor. Her name is Amber Bacon. She's a local girl. She's been practicing or been an instructor for 2 years, practicing yoga for 10 years, I think. And she's going to start Tuesdays at 6 o'clock at the Civic Center, starting at 6 o'clock, starting on the 16th. So it'll be on Tuesdays once a week. So we're doing 2 weeks. Yeah.
I know her. I'm
She's-
excited about this.
Good. She's really excited.
She will be great.
Yeah, she's really excited about it. And it's beginners, all levels are welcome. She really wants to make it very inclusive. And then also, kids can come too, but just have to have a parent, and you do have to bring a yoga mat. So yoga mats won't be provided, but just make sure and bring a
If you
yoga
talk
mat.
to her, will you let her know that I do have extras if she has people reaching out to her?
Okay, I will.
A bunch.
That would be wonderful. Okay, perfect.
She's gonna do it once a week at this point, because when the summer cut gets here and we can get outside, maybe do a second one, but the first one a week is all we can do, because weekends at the Civic Center are pretty well covered up, so.
Yes.
But we are gonna have it at least once a week.
Yeah, and we moved it to Tuesday because Mondays, a lot of the times we're closed,
Yes.
you know, on Mondays for holidays. So Tuesdays, it works out a little bit better.
King Day.
It is on the 15th, just so you know, it's not the 22nd. Just so you know. And then we're still doing an emergency contact list for businesses. So if businesses could go online and fill out that form, or they should have had one mailed to them. The purpose of that is for Timmy and Mike, even Brad, if something were to happen after hours, they have that after hours contact information that they can call. Very easy to do. I think we've got about 70 that have already done it. So
That's good.
I think that's a good number, but we've got over 200, businesses. So it would be good to get that number up a little high. So if you're familiar with anyone that has a business, make sure that they fill that form out. And then we are still pushing the water to get that filled out, the connector and filling that form out. Letting us know.
I cannot get that form to go. I cannot attach it. I have tried to send that form, not getting the picture.
Okay. If you want, you can fill one out here at City Hall, the printed version.
I've heard you all say that, and I've meant to stop by just.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get you a printed version of it. And then you don't have to worry about submitting it that way. Because the photo is, it is kind of odd. And the printed version, you don't have to submit a photo. So. And we need to get that going. And that's really all I got.
Well, thank you. So, it turns out that, misprinted stuff's actually usually worth more in the long run, then everything is perfect. So don't fret not. That's a good thing. Okay. Lots of an Easter egg. You want to do yours?
Sure. Paving, we've gone as far as we can at this point for paving. They closed the plants down, but we got base in. They got the tear out on and the areas that had to be dug out and reworked. They've got that done and put a base in on Old Gilbertsville Highway from North Main all the way up to 282. We're reworking Tiffany Lane entrance, giving more radius for the turns. We've got West Second from the Calvert Bridge out to the city limits. They've done the same thing there. Parking lot's done. So they're gonna come back when it opens up, and we'll come back and complete the project. We've got a couple of things that they'll have to come back and rework, but overall it was coming along pretty good. The TAP program, we're waiting to hear back from the state, the language for the bid or notice is being approved by the state to make sure it meets all the federal guidelines and all of that. And then they'll send it back approving it. And once they've done that, then we'll actually go to bid and actually start this monster, a project. So, but it is moving forward, so. The new doors, the ADA compliant doors, probably will start work on that here in City Hall in the next month or so. So you'll probably see, some inability to come in and out of a given door at any certain time. We're gonna do them one at a time so we don't wind up making it a major mess, but, and we'll probably start downstairs because I know Mike's got some classes coming up in February. So either we'll wait till after the class is over, try to get it done before that. When we rework the front doors here, which is gonna be some of the, probably one of the hardest ones because the ceiling on the inside, the drop ceiling like this hangs down against the door framing at the top, and so does the stucco finish on the outside. And then down at the bottom, you got the tile and more and grout, as well as the, again, framing on the outside. So we're gonna wind up having to do, we'll have to do a little work to get it ready. But we'll close up, when we close up the front, we'll put a temporary closure on the front, then all the front 3 doors will be locked. And we'll work through Mike's office probably to take walk-in payments downstairs. But this is probably less than a week, 2-3 days is what we're expecting. So that we're looking at in probably the next 30 to 45 days. We've also placed the courtesy car at the airport. We do not leave a key with the courtesy car. And for a person to actually have access to the courtesy car, they have to call and reserve it through here. We're working on a process where the individual will call, see if it's available, request it. We'll turn them over to Mike or the dispatcher. They will check the individual's driver's license to make sure that it is valid. And at that point, then we'll set up a time for them. They're going to tell us when. We'll drop a key out the pilot's lounge in a certain area for them. And then when they get back, they'll fill the vehicle up. When they bring it back in, top it off, and then drop the key back in the same place they got it. And we'll pick it up and do a check when our guys pick the key up. But it would be available to those who reserve it on a first come served basis. But it is out there. We already used it once. It went well. And we can't find anything wrong with it, so everything was. We're moving that one forward. To talk about the grants and stuff at the airport. Tim's here to talk about that.
I thought maybe you had a magic trick. I was stunned for a moment.
Leaf vacuuming is over for the year. However, we are still picking up bags. Anybody that still wants to do that bags, they can, or do leaves, have the city collect them, just bag them from one of the bags that we provide here free of charge. And let us know, call us, let us know they're out, and we'll pick them up with the garbage wrap. Is there anything else that I haven't touched on that we've been discussing today?
So if you rake them, we'll still take them
That's correct.
in bags. Okay.
Bags. And
Right.
we're gonna start the budget process. We'll start doing some preliminary work on budget process here in the next 30 days, so.
Getting ready to be the busy time.
Okay.
Has anybody got a project question specific before we move on? Okay, I'm gonna put Tim on the spot first. Utilities department always sends the utility department Tim, not Chief Tim. And not the airport Tim, utility Tim. You got anything you want to report from utilities, Tim?
Two main breaks. Just expect more.
That time of the year.
And you've had good responses to them, right?
Big attaboy on the one at Westlake. Well done.
We've had lots of responses back on new updates and phone numbers, we've had lots of.
Now that is very important. I don't know how well you're going on our broadcast here, but the updates to the telephone number for water department. It is imperative that everybody who's a Calvert City water customer get us a phone number to be the contact, and that will be for commercial issues. And even more important than that, it's for boil water orders and other things that can come your way. So, you say, well, City Hall calls me regularly, so they know my number. It's not done as a one-off. It's done as batches. Sometimes it's done as a geographical location or whatever.
Water bill this time.
Do what?
I wrote mine on the water bill when I put it in a Dropbox for you.
All right, thank you. So we found out we had a serious problem in the community over that. We had 2 or 3 cases that just didn't come out the best in the world, and for lack of notice. And it's just, the automated system we have, it's kind of it's imperative that we get that. So you had several updates. Said about 70.
We've had at least that,
Okay,
if not more. Than
that's
that.
good news.
There's been several.
Okay,
TV cloud project is still ongoing. Should be complete hopefully this week. New services been put in we're gonna pick up a bunch of new stuff.
good news. Pick up new customers and have circled around and made a better continuity of supply for other customers. So that's what it's all about. Anything else? That's it. Trying to think. Good response to the main breaks. You want to be lucky, or you want to be good, or you want to be good and lucky?
I'm sorry,
Yeah, on main breaks, you want to be lucky, or you want to be good, or good and lucky?
folks.
Yeah. So I've heard some of those. Good work, guys.
Do consumers already know, or is there a way for them to know whether their phone number?
There was a note that went out on the bills to please update, and we've gotten, this is probably where the
Yes,
response is from.
But how do you know whether the number is correct? Or would you know that?
No, you need to ask. Call us
So
here
each
and
person's
just-
gonna need it.
Right,
okay.
and Allison, as everyone walks in, she is asking them, looking,
Yeah, 'cause I'm sure mine all files, my old home phone number that I don't have anymore.
but.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
many
we
in
have-
town are just like that.
I'm
Yes.
sure mine was when I.
Yeah.
Hooked my water up
Mine, I think.
28 years ago or something.
I mean, I'm trying to make the assumption. You
But I
all
don't
know
have
what
no
it might
home
be,
phone
but
number, so.
maybe not.
Supposed to file that notice with Tim or with,
Are you supposed to
with
call
the
City
city?
Hall?
City Hall, you'll write it on your water bill will be good enough.
A lot of people though we get the water bill, but it's automatic.
Yeah, like,
Right,
I don't
right.
see anything back.
So they need to call.
It's, I need to call.
Well, it's the thing is, people pay their water bill, and sometimes you make a mistake or you don't. So there's a few commercial issues we need that contact number on. But for boil water orders and things like that, I mean, you really need to have a contact number with your utility provider. And it's confidential. It's going in there, not going to be used for anything else.
I
So
mean, if I'm gonna have a shutdown in the system, I would a whole lot rather call the people ahead of time and let them know we're gonna have this main shut down for X amount of hours for maintenance versus try to answer 75 phone calls while I'm on water.
but we've gotten a good response. That's actually better than I thought we'd ever get. I thought people would never notice and just
No,
to heck with it.
I would like to say, Mayor, that I appreciate him for coming and turning my water off on the weekend the other day when I had a leak. I had someone who would come and fix it, but I had to have someone come and turn the water off.
Yeah. Well, that's the business. We're set up to do that. We've got the time in this session. I think a lot of the older houses depend on the city's equipment to be their main water shut off for their house. And we've had a lot of equipment damage, and there's actually ordinance that you're not supposed to do those things to your equipment. Many people will mistreat it. They don't know it's a quarter turn valve. It depends on the meter sets. You can do damage that will be very costly to repair. So it's against ordinance. It's actually in the code. You need to have a water shut off on your side of the meter. And I will tell you and attest to this in your house. I had a water line blow off underneath the master vanity the other night, and I happened to be in the room. And I went downstairs, hit my valve, had a shop vac there within 5 minutes and still had a lot of water. So when something like that happens to you, you don't need to be out wandering around in the snow and ice covered, whatever, breaking city ordinances to try to get your water shut off. You really, I urge everybody to try to take care of that in our own residence. That's on your side of that meter. So that's very important too. So enough of the public service announcements. Timmy, you got everything? Okay. Well, who got the microphone? Who got?
I'm holding.
You're holding it. Okay. Let's go with Chief Davis.
We have had. Yes, you do. It's not for you, it's for the people in the audience. Go ahead. You ready? Yeah, it's on.
Okay, I'm not very good at this, but
We
we have,
copy.
most of the fire runs we've had are due to the smoke detectors going off. It's that time of year. People forget to change their batteries. We just go in there and that's the first place we go when we have a smoke alarm go off, is make sure that the batteries, it's crazy how old you will find some of these batteries in these smoke detectors. So, please check them. Also, our medical calls are we still have that. Other than that, everything's going good. We're supposed to get our new pickup next month. Around the second week of next month. So that's pretty much where we're at.
All right. Very good. Thanks, Tim. How about Chief Cannon? We'll make you guys pass the baton to the other side.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'm gonna come up here.
I don't know. That mic's working very good. I can't tell if it's on or not.
Check.
I think he's got a whole bunch of folders.
You got folders?
He's got paperwork folders.
Well, I was gonna try to come up with a packet with like everything that we've done over the year.
Okay.
And so I've got some numbers, I got some real numbers, and then we did a CAD switch halfway through the year. And so the print off from the new CAD was supposed to have the numbers from the old CAD on there. So I started doing an audit on it, and we're missing about 4,200.
4,200.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was gonna show everyone that, but what I'm gonna show you first. Pass this around. This is the actual, I don't believe that we've ever done this before, but this is the actual numbers of like charges and citations and stuff that we've done throughout the year. We did 866 charges, violations.
Get one for everybody.
Yeah, everyone, I think I got enough for everybody.
I still need one. I got Kevin.
I got it.
There you go. You got another one? Okay.
This scene 4,200.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm kind of digging into it, and for me to come up with a report, I'm gonna have to manually type it all out, and that's gonna take me a little while. That's something that I want to do, and I'll get to that. But what you guys have in front of you right there, that is from January 1st to December 31st. That's the citations, that's the arrest, that's everything that our officers have done throughout the year. So I really do not know what to compare it to, because we haven't done that in the past. So as you can tell, there's everything on there from failure to use your turn signal to strangulation. I mean, we respond to just about anything, it's just smaller scale for a smaller town. This next report, this is the kind of the boxed up CAD report. And this has a list of the types of calls that we went to. And I'll show you kind of what I'm trying to figure out.
Thanks.
We got one or two in here.
We can pass.
So the new CAD company that we are using is CIS. It's a computer information system. Saying that they've been granted since 1986. So this isn't new to them, but it is new to us. And so that very first line where it says 4920, that's supposed to be our previous CADs with the old CAD company, which is Calvert. And if you look on the far right, it says total by month. So June 9th is whenever we switched over. So I ran January, February, March, April, and May numbers from whenever they gave me a monthly print off from Calvert when we still had access to them. And I calculated 9,214 incidents. And they're showing 49, so we're missing quite a bit. And that could be due to the two CAD companies not playing nice with each other possibly.
Right.
So if you look through this packet, this shows kind of the types of calls that we are responding to. Some of the bigger numbers, like your alcohol patrols, that's us going to the businesses that sell alcohol. We're walking in, we're showing presence there, and then handing out licenses whenever they are fixed and ready to go. Another big number is your extra patrols. That's going to be like your residential checks, other business checks. So we will, if someone requests like a residential check, we'll keep an eye on their property for them. And so that's where that comes from. Then you also have your animal complaints, your alarm calls, just the complaint that's underneath the child custody issues. That could be just about anything. So that call could originate as anonymous complaint at this location, and next thing you know, we're making an arrest for EPO violation or something like that. We have these have a unit call 1088. That's whenever someone is requesting to speak with us, and so we will answer that as well. So that'll be us calling someone else, or someone who wants to speak with an officer. And then, of course, we got the criminal papers. It's there's 51 there. But like I was saying, these numbers are not accurate to what I believe that they should be, based on the fact that we're missing about 4,200 of them. But
Well,
at least gives you a little bit of an eyesight to what your police department's doing as far as dealing with the public and answering the calls that are coming in.
all right. Well, I look forward to you resolving the numbers and getting out your first report first annual report as chief.
Yeah, hopefully the next year will be a lot better considering we'll be with this same company for several more years to help. But I want to dig into it. I'm going to go through month and see where the discrepancies are, and we'll call them out on it.
All right, good deal.
That's all I have. If you guys have any questions?
Thank you.
If something comes up from the report format you think you want, call chief. We'll see.
Yeah.
I did.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll put Brad back on the spot, since the microphone's gone both ways, right? Well, Brad has a pretty big hole in his organization, and I wanted to enter it in, and I think most people know it. Ronnie Winninger retired after 22 years of service at the end of the year. And we need to make sure we capture that. And of course, we have it in employee records and everything. I think it's nice to catch it in minute records. I think my remarks is that the city council and the mayor, we decide what we want done. And then we need to hire great people to get that done, and kind of modulate them on, make sure they understand, and then get out of the way and let them do their jobs. And I think that Ronnie is a great example of that. And and we have new employees that sometimes the city can be really their first real job, and to have more experienced hands to kind of show them the ropes, I think is invaluable to us. But with that, what else is going on at your place?
Well, we've replaced, we've replaced Ronnie with, Jonathan. He's been working with Tree Park now for about a year. He's a good hand, and he's actually been Ronnie's fill-in driver whenever Ronnie's off. So he's taken that role on, and he's got some big shoes to fill, but I think he'll be fine. Him and the guys get along great. He's got a great work ethic. I think we're moving in the right direction there. So we'll be filling his position here in the future, telling us that. other than that. Or,
You want to come up here?
uh,
This is almost like Brad's New Year's resolution, kind of, sort of.
yeah, well, this is kind of the
Oh,
good guy, bad guy kind of thing.
Well, it's not a bad guy. It's just business.
We've talked about in the past, on our garbage cans. We didn't have enough to cover everyone's needs to enforce we're only dumping city can policy.
Right.
So now I have enough cans to cover it, I hope. So, we're going to enact that. So that, if you have your own can and our can, we will be dumping our can, but no longer dumping your personal can.
So how you gonna roll this out? Is you're gonna place cans at places, or how you?
People will have to call in. If you
Okay.
need more than your one can that you're issued, then you can call City Hall and we will bring you out another can. It will be the same charge you're paying for the other can.
It's still a bargain.
It's still a bargain.
2 for 1.
So.
Well, actually, scratch that.
No.
I got, no, I misspoke. Scratch that. It's not 2 for 1. It's 2 for a great bargain. It's actually 2 for 1 in many areas you get to. So,
Yeah, you're actually you would be getting 2 cans cheaper.
yeah. So if you need more room, you get an extra can, and it'll be,
Extra can.
you get an extra can.
What is it?
$7 a can.
$7 a can for a front pickup.
Yes.
Oh, that's not bad.
10 for the back.
That's how much our pickup is. That's how much our pickup. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like, our problem in church is we only need one can almost all the time, then all of a sudden we need 2 cans, you know?
Right.
Just
And
say,
I don't have any control over it because these women do the,
yeah.
you know. they-
Oh, easy. Watch it. I understand the no control part.
The trash cans, I'm just say this, I do put it in there,
Okay.
So,
Well, most places, whatever fits in the can, lid's supposed to be closed, and that's the regulation. But we kind of just let things go and got all this can, our can pickup going. And now trying to get things more organized because our business is, well,
we're gonna have a conversation between them.
Okay.
The garden thing's about really out of hand, so you know.
but anyway, that's where we're headed, try to get things under control. I mean, we have over 100 cans a week we dump that are not city cans.
So what's the total number they're out? What's the total pickups?
There's about 1,200 cans total.
Okay.
So then that's what we're,
Right.
that's what we're charging for.
Mhm.
So there's another over 100 more cans
Right.
that we're dumping that we're not being.
And this is for speed. It's to get something to fit on the tipper. It gets a uniform thing. That way we don't have employees throwing their backs out and doing all that. And we can really realize what we meant to do with getting this set of equipment. And still, it's a very reasonable rate, I believe, in comparison to what's available other locations, other cities, and then especially the commercial routes out in the counties and stuff that do. I think it's reasonable.
I'll get another. I got one on a tipper, but it's an old one. That found its way to my house 20 years ago.
No. What was that?
If you have a box that's too big,
You have a box that's too big.
Actually, that was the question I was getting ready to ask, because you wanted to put it in a bag or.
I mean, eventually, I don't know. I mean, that's something that y'all will kind of have to address too. I mean, this is all us working together. We're gonna have to come up with the right solution for those kind of problems. I know I'm sure Waste Bath or anyone else, no, if it's not in the can, they're not picking it up.
so those are cases where you have people driving a singular vehicle with a one-armed bandit, and they pick it up and never exit the vehicle, and so they get pretty stringent. We're not quite running that show, but we still need to work with the volume.
Boxes can be broke down.
That's what I was
They can
asking.
fit,
Should
yeah.
we, if you want them broke down, maybe we should tell people that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
They can be broke
I mean, I
out.
can
fit
put them in a garbage bag and put them in the can, but it's,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it won't get picked up, but then again,
I don't want
if
to.
we're gonna try to
Right.
enforce this,
So breaking them
then-
down would probably be the better way.
Yeah.
to do it.
She'll have one that she loads them up.
I mean,
She'll load them up. Ain't no problem.
I was talking about empty parks.
Yeah, well, that's what, the empty ones will turn into full ones, and then we have the same problem we have.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to start breaking it up.
So we have a few smaller cans out and around
We do
for
have-
people who don't want to wheel large cans and they don't, you can get a smaller one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometime back, we determined there are some folks out there that can't handle a 90-gallon cart.
Mhm.
And the smaller cart we've got is still functional with that vehicle. But it's a smaller cart for people who can't handle the larger cart.
I need another big one.
All you have to do is just call in and tell Allison, and
I'll take care
she'll
of it.
make me a work order and we will put them out.
That'd be no problem.
But anyway, just a
And the
heads
new
up
cans have got our new logos on them too.
for everyone that is coming around.
You like that old logo?
Yes, that's
Got
right.
one
Well, maybe if you
You
specify old logo, maybe we can do a swap. Maybe we can do a swap. We'll get you a swap.
She said, I'll trade mine in for a new
I
one.
don't care that one,
I was like, oh no.
Pick up that old green one I got.
I can make
after it.
You get, is that what you needed to say?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, for the fees that we charge for twice a week pickup on the curb, I'll put our services up against anybody's and,
Absolutely.
it's awesome. I've had some people approach me and say, can we burn in the city? And I said, well, why would you want to? We do a very good job of getting stuff off the curb. Please don't be a bad neighbor. And it's
in my
illegal.
house, I just got Dodge vehicles. There's so many, well, not during the day when I pick up trash, any other time.
Yeah. But the burning of boxes and stuff like that is by state law is really forbidden. The only thing you really can burn these days are woodland debris. And that's in the fall and spring, those are restricted on when you can do that. And so, we'll come suck it off the curb. You can put the bags out and let's try to, keep the place picked up as reasonably as we can. And I always get positive
I can
comment.
call my brother for you and tell him, break the bad news to him. How's that?
Okay. We have had several breakdowns on our equipment here lately, just unforeseen crazy stuff happen. We did, we got the leaf back going again to finish up the year. The bucket truck is down at this moment because the hydraulic pump and the PTOs decided to part ways.
Okay.
So we had to have two new feet, so.
The big Christmas tree will come down eventually, but we
Yeah.
gotta get the pump fixed.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, we're doing some maintenance.
That's a good idea.
Well, we won't have
Long
it.
enough to
No,
be close
it'll
to
be,
me.
it'll be hearts where you can reach it and it'll be Christmas from that height on up, I guess.
That's all I can say.
We shut down the fountain today. Of course, cold weather's coming next week supposedly, so.
Now this week.
Timely.
Start this weekend, wind chills are supposed to be down in the teens and lower
And I
all the
do,
way through Monday.
I do want to throw out some kudos to Marsh County Emergency Management. They're showing notice of, we had weather briefings and those are starting up again with emails, and I believe we're probably going to do some phone conferencing too. So I'm proud to see that move at the county level. And it's just the statewide information just passed down locally and parsed out, and from my understanding of it. So I'm pleased to say that's going to happen.
Any questions? Y'all have me?
No.
Please don't high five him.
Don't have any.
I'm not even gonna clap for him.
Okay.
And before we move up to the airport or down to the airport, however it is in the fertile lowland that we love so much. I want everybody to be aware, we've got some long-term repairs happening to the Tennessee River Bridge on I-24 and I-69. And that means that we're going to get a lot of calls for police and fire and for all the wrong reasons. And so the state of Kentucky is really trying to work on that work zone. And that's going to be a changing work zone, and they're getting out in front of it, trying to get out in front of it with public relations and comments on it. But that, the interstate travelers aren't able to understand that. So just that's something that we're going to try to work through and see what kind of feedback we can get to the state and our utilization and stuff like that. And Marsh County SO and Marsh County ambulance, of course, that's all going to be we unfortunately expect an uptick in calls on the I-69, I-24 corridor. And some of those are pretty rough. But hopefully we'll have a good year on that. That's all I've got except for airport, and then we'll go around to the council members. What you got, Tim?
Just a couple of quick things. This month, couple of quick things, but you see, I have quite a list here. This month, we're expecting the state to release the grant for the fence project to you. We are in the process of putting together the grant application for the site work for the box hangers. We expect to have that on John's desk for review and signature within the next 10 days. And that will go to the state for, it's their portion of the box hanger process. So no local money at all associated with that. The other thing that I have is the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and Medicine has a subdivision called the Transportation Research Board. The Transportation Research Board manages for the Federal Aviation Administration. I could do this in acronyms if you want me to.
I prefer not.
We won't understand it no better than where the others, you're fine.
Bottom line is Transportation Research Board submitted, one of the things that they do is they manage the Airport Cooperative Research Program. What that is, if airports in the airport business have an issue, the Transportation Research Board will contract with experts in the field, and I emphasize the expert part, because the reality is that Hansen has, in the last couple of years, done 2 research projects on behalf of the Transportation Research Board. And they have, we have published 2 documents that might be of interest to anyone locally. The first one is a guidebook for managing small airports. And the second one is best practices for obstruction management. 2 things that this council has been involved with. Melissa from our office has forwarded to John hard copies of those 2 documents. They are available for your review, and that upon your request, we can send you a link to a website that will give you your own personal copy of those documents. So if you are at all interested in managing small airports,
There you go.
or clearing your approaches, just contact myself or John and we'll get that document to you.
That was exciting.
And I will emphasize the document is written by experts in the field.
Experts in the field.
I was not a part of that process.
Okay. But then boom, okay.
Thank you. And I hope you all have a good rest of the month.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. We should have opened up the council meeting with a big
That
happy.
grant for the fence, is that still around 800,000?
It's gonna be a little more, but it's yet to be determined.
Inflation.
You know, we've had some projects come in under budget. We have the PB Cloud. PB Cloud has come to fruition for significantly less, and we're able to do some extra. But we're still lining out the extra. So with that said, we're ready for council members around Robin. Jeremy, you with us?
I'm here.
You got anything? Nope.
I'm good. Thanks for starting with me.
All right. We're suffering on volume for you, but I heard you, I think. Tanara, you got something? Or some things?
Some things.
All right.
Well, I really don't have a whole lot. I was sad that Ronnie retired, and I know that he's gonna be greatly missed, but we had 2 other retirements announced on Facebook. We had John Simbridge, who
Right.
has been dedicated to our fire department, and we have Robbie West, who has given over 20 years of service to our police department.
Right.
I think those are worth mentioning.
Well, I haven't talked about Semprich yet. And Robbie is slated to be the end of this month.
Okay, so coming soon.
Thank you. Good.
No.
No, no. Kevin?
No.
No. Oh, my goodness.
No.
We're waiting for something, I believe. Glenn, you got anything? No? All right. Well,
Anybody
Just
else?
just your financial disclosures.
yes,
I can turn mine in
It
here in a
is
minute.
that.
everybody, the council's got a copy next to them and, need to get that going. You gonna put a deadline on everybody?
You're ready to.
I need them.
Think
by the
You
end
already
of
gave
the-
it done.
End of the month,
No,
end of the month.
don't forget the signatures do need to be notarized. So there's several of us here that can notarize them. You may have some at your office around where you're at too. But
Go get your stamp.
You really?
go
I
ahead,
didn't
my
know,
stamp.
I don't think I've ever.
I'll meet you in there now in my room. We'll take care
Oh,
of it.
okay. All right. Okay,
Linda just took care of mine a little while ago.
with that said, Kevin, I
That
think you,
said, if there's no other further business, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't mind what you know.
Oh, you throw it. Oh.
No, all in favor?